In this video, I'm going to go over how Spotify Discovery Mode is a no-brainer for you to use to promote your music. And if you're not familiar, Spotify Discovery Mode is a free music marketing tool accessible directly through Spotify for Artists, where you opt your songs in every month to get additional promotion through radio and autoplay in the next month. Every month there's an opt-in, opt-out period, and it's actually impossible to make less money with it. And that's really the big point of contention a lot of artists have, is that Spotify takes a 30% commission on these additional streams that they're getting for it. It doesn't cost anything up front like marquee or Facebook ads or something, but they take an extra commission. And a lot of artists hate that. I hate that too, but that's how they do it. And I'm going to show you how you when you use Discovery Mode, you're going to make more money from your streams. It's not going to be life-changing, but you won't lose money by using Discovery Mode. And the big kind of fact about this is that Spotify Discovery Mode doesn't take a commission when you opt in on your whole profile. So if I go to audience engagement here, go down to source of streams. There's all these different categories you can get streams from, right? Artist profile and catalog. This is sending people directly to your music from either your social media channels, your email list, or Facebook ads, or whatever. There's listeners' own playlist and library. This is people who are listening to music that they've already heard your stuff, they've saved it, they're listening to it again. And then there's like third-party playlisting, which is here, algorithmic, editorial, which apparently I have 0 now. And then there's radio and autoplay. And this is where Discovery Mode actually makes an impact. So you can see starting on April 1st, I get a big jump in radio and autoplay. And that's essentially because of Discovery Mode, because this is the only area it's impacting. And this is also the only area that they're taking that 30% commission on. And they've specifically designed it in a way, at least according to Spotify, where they're not going to utilize it in a way that makes you lose money, essentially. So let's go through those numbers. If I go in here, I'm talking about this in the previous video if you want to check it out here on Discovery Mode, but there's this listener lift and stream lift. I'm going to focus on stream lift for the numbers I'm about to show you and calculating the money side of things in Discovery Mode. Just because we get paid in streams, we don't get paid in listeners. So we get 9,400-ish streams from radio and autoplay so far this month. It's the 27th as of filming this, so that, pretty much the whole month. And that's 171% stream lift. So a 100% lift, or 100% increase would be a doubling. A 171% increase is nearly 3x, right? It's 2.7 increase, 2.7 factor increase, 171% increase. A 100% increase is a doubling, just in case you're not familiar with that lingo. So the previous month, I got 3,460 streams. This month, I got 9,378. So if you were to do the math on that, just the gross money, and this is just from radio and autoplay. Radio and autoplay for most people is a fairly small chunk of their total listenership. And also, just another point, I'm actually doing a little worse in Discovery Mode than I've seen some other people do. I've seen several other people do around this kind of 200% increase range, but I've seen people get like a 300 or 400% increase, and it seems like it does better when you do it multiple months. So I'm guessing Spotify does some AI magic optimizing your campaign for who's going to like it or not. But putting these numbers in the spreadsheet, the radio and autoplay streams from the previous month was about $12. The current month, it's $32.82. So if you were to subtract Spotify's 30% cut, it's just this times 0.7, subtract that 30%, it's $23. That gives us, just subtracting these two numbers, that's a net gain of about $11. So it essentially doubled my royalties from radio and autoplay. So not life-changing amounts, right? This is $23. But again, this is free money, and one thing that artists have to consider with Discovery Mode is it's largely a percentage-based game. So I know an artist, and I did an interview video with him recently, Manifest. He has like 1 million monthly listeners on Spotify. And somewhere in that interview video, and I'll link to that here just in case you want to check it out, he talked about how Spotify Discovery Mode gave him like an additional 100,000 streams from radio and autoplay because he already had like 900-something K. It gave him this big increase in radio and autoplay and ended up being like 100,000 extra streams. So if you were to come in here and just do the same math on 100,000, so if it's 100,000 0.035, that's about $350. Do the math, subtract 30% of that, then that's whatever it is, right? So it's a pretty big increase because the bigger you are, the more you get from Discovery Mode, and therefore the bigger raise you effectively get from discovery mode. Now, another thing I want to point out here is that you can check out all of these stats on a song by song basis. So you can check and see like which songs are getting the biggest stream lift, which ones are getting a smaller stream lift. This one get a 600% increase, and then a 277% increase, all the way down to a 77% increase, and then one song that got 14% less streams. I don't know if this is just like a small data thing, but Spotify says here, consider opting this song out or opt in for another month and see what happens. I just opted this song out for the next month and opted a few other songs in for the next month. So you could play the game and try to opt some in, opt some out. Who knows long term if this is going to have some strategic element to it where you want to put some in and pull some out. Right now, it seems to just kind of be flood everything in there. The more, the merrier. But I wanted to answer some kind of quick questions that I've gotten based on my last video on discovery mode, because a lot of people were saying they didn't have access to it. So first of all, right now, publicly, CD Baby, DistroKid, Vydia, and a couple other small services have access to discovery mode directly inside Spotify for Artists. I've had several people say that they use Amuse and they're now getting access to it, and I can actually confirm that because I have one song, my song Change is distributed through Amuse. Everything else is DistroKid. And I just saw that this one, my song Change, just showed up. So that's the one that was distributed through Amuse. So I can confirm that you Amuse people now have access to discovery mode as well. I'm sure more are coming. I've seen some people say you need a certain amount of monthly listeners. Some people are saying, Andrew, you have 30,000 monthly listeners. I looked online. Some articles said you need at least 20,000. But I had several people tell me that they have less than 10,000 monthly listeners and they have access to it. And I can confirm right here, my band at Breaking Moment, we have 5,000 monthly listeners and we now have access to discovery mode. So I can confirm if you have it little as 5,000 monthly listeners, you can get discovery mode. Who knows why some of you don't have it? I know at least the US and Canada 100% confirmed have access to it, and all the distributors I just mentioned as little as 5,000 monthly listeners. So I'm not sure why some of you don't, but that's everything I know. So I think everyone should use discovery mode right now. Because no matter how you cut it, right now there's certain big labels that aren't using it. Sony in particular has this black list on discovery mode right now. That includes everyone that's using the Orchard. At least right now, they can't use it. So that means that a giant chunk of the music industry isn't using it, and discovery mode is really only beneficial when people are not using it. So eventually, down the line, when everyone's using discovery mode, it's effectively like no one having discovery mode. Right now, you have a unique opportunity to have an advantage over a certain percentage of the music industry. So I think you'd be foolish not to take it, especially when it's free and you have essentially no risk of losing anything. So if you want to learn more about how you can market your music using Facebook ads, which is my preferred method to actually grow your audience long term, you can check out this playlist right here. And if you'd like us to actually run your campaigns for you using Facebook ads, you can check out the link I have in the description, or you can get my course right here, Spotify Growth Machine. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.